Hi everybody, it's Krista here to do the extended monthly forecast for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for the month of August 2018. I hope your summer is going wonderfully, and I hope that you enjoyed your July extended monthly forecast. I really want to take a second to thank all of my Aries viewers, subscribers, and commenters. You are one of the most watched videos that I've put out all year in July. So thank you so much. That's amazing. And I really hope my readings are helpful and healing as always. So this is a general reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising for the month of August. We're looking at general messages for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I am going to be using a 7-card spread today. It's called a horseshoe spread, but it's just going to look at some options that might be available to you, or some answers in some hidden places, or even some hidden behaviors or things that might have gone unnoticed that we want to make evident for you today. So what does Aries need to know for the month of August 2018? Ooh. Couple of things just flew out. We had the Empress, the King of Water, and then we had the Star card. It's always fun to see if those show up in the reading. Just some general messages quickly with the ones that jumped out. We have healing, we have emotional maturity, and what was the other card that jumped out? I forget already. So let's see if they show back up in your reading. Let me just concentrate for a minute here and we'll get your cards laid out for you. Aries need to know for the month of August. Aries, August 2018. As I always say, if the shuffling isn't welcome, please feel free to scroll ahead to when you see the cards laid down. That flew out, as you could see. That's the Temptation or the Devil card. Again, let's see if it shows up in your reading. What does Aries need to know for the month of August? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. There's your card right there, the King of Fire. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, messages for Aries for August. I'm just going to give it one more little shuffle here. As you know, I usually wait for a little tingle in my arm or shoulder to tell me when it's time to stop shuffling, and there it actually is. That was kind of neat. I'm also going to straighten out the camera a teeny bit, so 1 second here. There we go, it's a little straighter. So I'm just going to cut that deck for you. I won't use the bottom of the deck in the spread, but I always like looking at it for general energy for the month. We do have the 6 of Swords, so definitely sailing away from something that isn't working for you anymore. Air is always something that's happening in your mind. It's the way we communicate, we think, and we believe. But the cool thing about the 6 of Swords, similar to the 8 of Cups, for example, is that you are better off for moving forward. You can take what you've learned, you can take the messages or the lessons, and you can take them with you. Something that feels like it was all for naught, or why did that even happen, or it was a waste of time. If something that comes up this month for you that uses that type of language, this card is suggesting that it wasn't a waste of time, even though it was something you had to leave behind or sail away from, like I said. And it could be you and a family member, or you and your family. So it could be family orientated as well. Let's get your cards out. As I said, we have a 7-card spread here. So let's see if I can fit these all into the view finder here. It's a little bit low. What I could do is fix the placement of the camera. 1 second. All right. And 5 and 6 and 7. So like I said, you're moving away from something here. At least by the end of the month, I would say, especially if something here is ongoing and you're looking forward to moving away from something, or you're worried, okay, you have some more swords here and you're worried about moving away from something, or it's causing some anxiety, etc. I think with the bottom of the deck with the 6 of Swords is really letting you know here is that it's not only possible for you to, mentally and psychologically move away from this, but that it's probable that you will be. Oh, that's the 2. I'm sorry, I thought that was the 9. So really just having to face making a decision here. So let's get a little snapshot for the cards like I always do. We do have a major arcana here, the Fortune's Wheel or Wheel of Fortune. It just means that things are really, a chapter is closing or I was going to say a book is closing, but I would use really the Death card for that, like a total transformation. I think with the Wheel of Fortune, it's something you can revisit. It's just going to be revised. Or if you revisit something here, for example, the situation or the person or the theme may be the same, but you're not the same. You're changed going into something either for the first time, or if it's something that's on repeat or keeps showing itself, you're not the same anymore. I also want to mention here with the Wheel of Fortune as well, that there could be some angelic properties to this. The more I learn about these cards, both intuitively and through books and watching other tarot readers, obviously. One thing I am noticing that for this fixed signs are showing up on the Wheel of Fortune. Of course, that's Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. So those themes in imagery will show up. It's the person, it's the phoenix, the eagle, the bull, and then of course the lion. So if you know anyone who is, one of those signs, they could be a player in your month right now for the month of August. On the other hand, like I said, those are fixed signs or fixed placements, fixed energies, which means that they're really solid. Things really take root in fixed energy. So as I said here, it could be something that's, coming round again, that you visit or revisit as a new person or under a different circumstance. So it's almost like, it's similar in that sense to me to the Judgment card. Like you might have a second chance here. But the Wheel of Fortune, in my view, as opposed to the Judgment card, is you have to catch this opportunity. Okay, this is an opportunity as opposed to, say, Judgment, which is, it's a fresh start. It's a new chance. It's just what's happening. It's the energy that's happening. This is almost saying, you have to reach for this. You have to do something about this. So that is, I'm going to leave that information there with regard to that particular card. We do have one water card here. We have a little bit of fire over here, a little bit of earth. Sorry, we have 2 water, heavens. 2 water, 2 air, 1 earth, and 1 fire. So a little bit of the 2 major elements here are the emotions and of course the thoughts. So let's try to balance thoughts and emotions this month going into it. Let's get into what each card means in its position, and then we'll get through the reading here. What I've begun to do as well, if you've been watching my channel or my videos for a while, I don't normally pull qualifier cards for things in the reading that may pose even more questions or need some clarification. I usually just pull from the Oracle here for additional messages. So if there's anything that's standing out that isn't making sense to me or isn't clear right off the bat, I will pull more cards from the deck to clarify what's going on. So getting into it for you, the Page of Pentacles, of course, this is your past. So something had already been begun here, something that was taking root, in the real world with your body, with finances, with a home, objects, things you can touch and taste and smell. Okay, this is the real world. Anytime we're dealing with earth or pentacle energy here. And the page is lovely. This is youthful energy. So you know that you've just begun something. And this is where we're looking here with the present, right? So you've just begun something here, but something's going to switch itself up here with the present. I think maybe you had undergone something here or begun something. Something was fresh. There was a new start, a new direction, a new interest, a new job, money-making opportunities, perhaps even some physical healing, actual finances or property. Okay, so something looked really promising here. And this is where you're given a second chance. So this is the recent past. Here is your present. And listen, and I explained this card, honestly, before looking at the influence of the other cards. So it's really cool to see this here, actually. You know, you'd begun something, and I think it might even look like, on the surface, okay, whatever looks like an obstacle right now, whatever looks like I've been here before, I've already done this, something's on repeat, okay, something like that. If that is showing up in the month of August for you, Aries, I'm going to suggest that there's a new opportunity within what you already think, how you already think it's going to pan out, okay? In other words, if you had already begun something here and you thought it was going to go in a specific direction, or you had planned for it, or it appeared, you know, by all appearances, it looked like it was headed in a specific direction. For example, the very next card after Page, of course, is the Ace. So, I mean, it looks like it was about to, like, ooh, there was a spark there. So maybe you got ahead of yourself. Maybe someone else wasn't on board, if this has to do with another person or a company or a situation where there's more than you involved. But like I said, again, back to the fixed energy here, I think, and because this is a pentacle element, right? Of course, we're dealing with earth in the real world, touch, taste, smell, roots, okay, dedication, long-range planning, that type of thing. And then you're dealing right next to it being the present, which is fixed energy. And it's almost like, and remember that one of the fixed signs is Taurus, which is an earth sign. So there could be some fixed element energy around, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, okay? So it could have to do with a love affair. It could have to do with the heart, with beauty, romance, creativity, artwork, expression, pleasure, with some other terminology around Venus and Taurians. They're all generous, down-to-earth energy, extremely kind, very giving, extremely creative, like naturally creative, and enjoys the creative arts. But again, with fixed energy here, it's very likely that this, and it could, and as I said a moment ago, this could be like you were going in a certain direction, and it's like there's this sense of I'm meeting up with this, you know, fill in the blank again, because it's giving you a new opportunity. There's a new chance. There's something new to be found here in something that you might consider tried and true, or that you've already done, that type of thing. So that's what I'm seeing here with regard to your past, and then your present energy for the month of August. Again, with the Wheel of Fortune, you know, big changes can occur here. I don't think they're going to be sudden. It's definitely not the Tower. It's definitely not the Death card, which, you know, the Tower is like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Death card is like, well, you know, completely 180, we're going to go in the different direction because that door is closed. That's not what's going on here. This is like a revisit. This is a renewal. Again, it's a chapter. You can go to another level here. I'm pretty fixated on these two cards right now. Like, there's a lot going on in these two cards, especially together in this reading right now, you know, with past and present. It's like, there's something juicy going on here. This is a 10, so I think that something could happen within 2 weeks, you know, within a 10. We're looking at, you know, less than 2 weeks here. I wouldn't say 10 months necessarily. You might see the outcome of taking a specific direction here or making a move in a specific direction with this energy that you want to carry, you know, the newness, the planting seeds, you know, finding your direction, making moves in a specific direction, especially if they have to do with finance, especially if they have to do, you know, in the tangible world. There's a lot that can be happening here with this energy. And with the 10 of Swords, of course, following this is hidden influence, okay? This is a very stressful card, but remember, it's your second 10. So there are endings and beginnings happening here, okay? And again, with the chapter analogy, there's this sense of you have the ability here to let something go forever, okay? And to not say it again with the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck, as we first saw, there's a sense of you have to take these lessons or the fruit of your labor or basically what you had to go through, right? In the mind, communication, thoughts, beliefs, okay, with this air energy. It's almost like it's time to let that go. So as a hidden influence, what you may not be aware of or what you need to become cognizant of is the power of your own thoughts and the power of your own mind here in this process, in bringing this gorgeous, fruitful, you know, youthful, new prospect energy into this Wheel of Fortune. It could be a new business. It could be a new relationship. It could be where am I, you know, a new home. Could be in like, do you go from being a writer to a sculptor? You know, just really anything as a general reading. That's all I can speak to right now, but you know, it's up to you to apply this, but definitely with 2 10s here, of course, we have your present and then hidden influences. There is an end at hand. And look at this with your third 10, my dear Aries, with your third 10, or as you know, a 111 or a 3 here. So a lot of personal responsibility energy as well. There's something that could even include, as I mentioned with the Six of Swords at the very beginning, it could include another person. It could even include a family member. But at the end of the day, this is all about you. It's like they'll follow you. They'll go with you. They trust you. They're waiting for you, this type of thing. So this is really all happening in terms of hidden influences. This is definitely occurring within your own mind. And then, of course, the general energy around the 10 of Swords is feeling stabbed in the back, you know, feeling like you can't trust anybody. You've been really let down. But again, because it's mental, and that could be through communication, okay? But as, you know, as an internal dialogue, for example, it could be like you're setting yourself up, or you could have been in the process of, or you're now getting away from having set yourself up, again, through thoughts and ideas, belief systems, even projection, but very possibly communication as well. And it could be, again, with your second 10 here in a row, you'd be like, I'm done. And it could be that's the decision. Right? Maybe you said that before, I'm done, and then, oh, it's the circle, it's the crazy, it's the hamster wheel, that type of thing. But listen, you're so in the fresh and now, like something has occurred to you, something has happened or appealed to you, or again, a seed has been planted here in your recent past that you just for whatever reason can't go back, like even if you wanted to. So I do see this coming to an end here. I think a large part of it could very well be you making the decision to cut that tie, cut that cord, especially if it's a psychic one, especially if it's, you know, if you share, if you're incredibly psychic and you have like an ESP connection, that type of thing. Or you could just be too close to somebody that you shouldn't be close to, whatever that means to you. And you need to get away from that. Like, I wouldn't go expecting the other person to do something about it, okay? I would really follow your own highest intention right now, your own highest good, and come at it, whatever you're doing here, come at it from a place of positivity and growth and wellness, because this is a very, very, very beautiful, springy, the world is your oyster kind of, I mean, it has a very similar energy in this, when I'm saying all this out loud, to the Two of Wands, actually, and I know they're not the same element, but there's the sense of like, the Two of Wands is almost like, yeah, it's a new adventure. I'm going to decide where I'm going to go. This is more like I'm taking root. Like I'm going to take and it's, you know, the Wands is very fast energy. This is very slow. It's very, you know, I'm going to make sure that everything is just the way I like it, and you're willing to take your time, and that's a beautiful way to move forward. It really is, because ultimately that's taking root, that's making nice deep roots, and that makes you solid. I also want to mention with the Page of Pentacles here that you could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your environment this month as well, Aries. So let's get into the center card here. Number 4 is representing you. This is where we're looking at our first emotional card. It's our second 6. As I mentioned, I might just pull this out here for the heck of it. I said I wasn't going to use it, but it's actually turning out to be pretty important here with the general energy at the bottom of the deck. So we do have 2 6s here. We do have a great deal of balance available to you. As I said, this represents you. This is general energy for you. So you're in the right type of energy here, but you're sailing away from something that wasn't working for you anymore. If I'm not mistaken, I think that I saw the 6 of Cups for you last month as well, Aries. There is nostalgia here. There is a longing here, whether it's mutual, whether it's right, wrong, whatever that means to you, whether it even actually happened, okay? I'm not saying it's all in your imagination. I'm saying it's something that you could have even like pretended or played with, or even had begun with someone else, and then you imagined it going somewhere else, or you even discussed it going somewhere else with the Swords energy here. It's like some of it you might have even played out in your head and you might have fantasized about, right? But the point of the fact is it touched your heart. This got to your heart, this nostalgia, this longing, this, it could even be unrequited love here, Aries. So again, with you yourself in this position, I do feel like there is a sense of, you could be hurting. You could be hurting inside. You could be carrying something that feels like a heavy heart load here this month, because of these influences. But see, the 6 of Cups, right? The 6 of Cups is not built on solid ground, okay? The 5 that preceded it was discordant. The 7 that follows it, it's wishy-washy. So, I don't think whatever you fantasized or thought about, or even technically had with someone else, again, whatever that means to you, regarding a matter of the heart here, it's almost like it couldn't have gone anywhere, and perhaps you were aware of that, perhaps you weren't, but there's this sense of like if only, okay? So that causes some pain, of course, but again, it's not the 3 of Swords, right? It's not a heartache. I don't think you're heartbroken over this, and I don't think it's a surprise. I really don't think that anything here is shocking or surprising or sudden. That's not what I'm seeing here. It's almost like you need to be reminded that it's safe to walk away. It's safe to want more, to want exactly what you want. Like, listen, for matters of the heart, everyone wants the 10 of Cups. We all want the 10 of Cups. We want the beautiful, happy, heartfelt home where your heart is full, your partner's heart is full, your whole family benefits. It creates a ripple effect, okay? Like, everyone wants the 10 of Cups when it comes to the heart. Don't settle for the 6, okay? Don't settle for the if onlys, the what ifs, the the longing, you know. Expect more and demand more. And I do think really, really solid things have begun here for you. And it's almost like you have to see yourself out of this energy. You do. You have to help yourself out of this. I'm really convinced here this month, Aries, that you're the only one who can do it. Like, even though I do see a knight here, there could be an Aries and fellow Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius here for you. Especially because we are looking at the influence of others here. This could be the player. This could be the other individual in your environment. It could be your energy as well. But we are looking in the position of influence of others. So I'm going to suggest that this is energy that's being brought in for you. And this is very flirty, sexy energy. It's and it's wands, right? We have like a lot of fire energy. Somebody who's really confident. Somebody who's probably really fun. Definitely sparks your interest. And again, if this isn't a person, it's energy, you know, outside influence, you know, the influence that you enjoy, that you're drawing or pulling from others, whether it's your actual love interest or business partner or child or, you know, whatever that is. It could just be, we can reduce it here to simply energy, and it's extremely excitable. It's very excitable, but it's also action orientated. So again, with the influence of others, like, and what did I just say? What do we all want? The 10 of Cups, and there it is. So, and that's the what you should do card. I'm telling you, I am going card by card, so I'm a little bit freaked out when I see that there, because I just said, right? Like, we all want this. I'm going back to this in a second, I promise. How do I get to 26 minutes? I feel like I just started. Anyway, I'm going to have to plow through this a little bit. I will not draw qualifiers. This is all pretty cut and dry for me. I am using bottom of the deck, and I do want to pull other cards for you. I do have 33 minutes tops. So if you feel rushed, you know, don't. If you feel rushed, remember, something has to take root. Even if you're doing something again, go slow. And this is you right now. This is what you should do. This is what you really want. Hold out for gold. Hold out for gold, okay? I literally just said that. This is a painful place to be, right? It's lonely. It doesn't go anywhere. This is where we want to be. Look at how fat and happy this guy is, this Buddha, right? It's pure bliss. It's pure bliss. So come from this heart space. No matter what goes on this month for you, come from this heart space, Aries, because I do think it's feeding this Page of Pentacles. I do think that what has taken root is new energy. So this deserves a lot of care. Treat it like a plant or a garden. Whatever you've begun here in the recent past for yourself to improve your life, to improve your finances, your health, relationships, whatever it is for you, make sure that you keep watering that with emotional bliss, okay? Have a lot of faith right now. And here with your outcome is, you know, you got to make that decision. You know, she's got their blinders on. She can go this way. She can go that. It's almost like not wanting. Aries, you have to decide that you deserve and want happiness more than anything else. There, I said it. That's it. You have to decide. What do you want more? What do you want more? Happiness and bliss just the way you want it, with the people you want it with? Okay? Or do you want to keep pining and longing? It is an air. It is a sword. So if this is an issue of communication, maybe, I mean, it could be saying you need to have a conversation with somebody. That could be what's going on there. I am pulling from the center just because I'm running out of time, as I said. Got a little bit chatty there. Let's pull from the top for you. Unrequited love, Aries, come on. You deserve better than this. You deserve better than this, okay? Unrequited love. Peel yourself away from it, because even if it did promise you something, even if you've been there before, there was something that it really gave you before, you're just not the same person now. Or they're not the same person now. Or that job doesn't have the same qualities, etc. So expect better. Water that garden of love with what you exactly want. Like really use your imagination and your powers of intention for what you want, not what you thought you wanted or not what isn't available to you, okay? No place like home. That's going to mean something to very specific Aries right now. No place like home is really, I'm going to suggest here for the purpose of this reading, that it's the heart. That it's the heart. You really need to pay attention to the heart. You've hurt too long. You've let something go on too long, or someone trick you, fool you, pull you. God forbid this be you doing it to someone else. But either way, you know, it's a waste of time. It's time to enjoy yourself, and it's time to enjoy your happiness. We do have introspection here. Yes, absolutely, here with the 10 of Swords. It's time to go within, figure out what it is that's been holding you back mentally. Remember, you do have the 10 of Swords, which is your mental framework, and then your 10 of Cups, which is your emotional framework. And you can probably just tell by the artwork how, I mean, she's on a cliff. There's feathers all around. It's pretty, it's like a lost looking card. With the 10 of Cups, you have this chubby, delightful Buddha, okay? Like pure bliss. So it really is a matter of like, what do you want more of, okay? And then with setting intentions and moving forward with fixed energy here, fixed energy, something is solid, based in reality, romance. So yeah, I do see this. If it isn't a romance, it's something that you're putting your heart and soul into. If it is romance, I think this is very specifically, especially with the unrequited love card, my gosh. For the majority of my Arians who are watching this, unrequited love. Expect more, demand more, start in your own mind, follow your heart, water that garden of peace and prosperity and love and romance and generosity and stability from the heart, okay? And believe it, because this is the outcome here. It's that decision, your decision, okay? And that's your reading. I thought this was beautiful. I really hope this makes sense to you and it's helpful. Please take excellent care of yourselves, Aries, until we meet next time. Bye for now.